Hey there. If you enjoy the stories on my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Your support keeps me going and helps me bring you more stories like this one. Thank you so much. Now, let's begin. I was in the bathroom brushing my teeth when I suddenly heard my daughter's voice floating in from the living room. She was reading something aloud, her sweet sing-song tone echoing down the hallway. Can't wait to feel your hands on me again. Last night was unforgettable. When will your wife be out of the house next? The toothbrush fell from my lips. My entire stomach plunged. For a heartbeat, everything around me tilted. I spit out the foam, wiped my mouth and ran, bolted, toward the living room. And there she was, Emma, our 9-year-old, standing in the middle of the carpet with my phone held tightly in her little hands, like she was reading a bedtime story instead of that. And then there was Nathan, my husband, leaning against the wall, arms crossed, face completely unreadable. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't pacing. He wasn't even blinking. My phone buzzed again in Emma's hands. Another message from Evan. Another message I should have deleted. That was the moment I realized Nathan wasn't going to explode. Not loudly, anyway. No shouting. No throwing things. He was going to break me quietly, carefully, and in a way I would never forget. But I should start before all of this. Before Evan. Before the rot in my marriage turned into a cliff I willingly walked off. Nathan and I had been married 12 years. Met in college, moved in together after graduation, built a life brick by brick. When we turned 30 we had Emma. Those early years? Amazing. Truly. Nathan was steady, brilliant, dependable. Not overly romantic but loyal in a way that felt like safety. But I wanted fire. I wanted breathless kisses and surprise weekend trips and late-night conversations that left me feeling seen. Instead, life settled into routines. After Emma was born, I started feeling invisible. He buried himself in work, spreadsheets, emails, deadlines, while I drifted somewhere between loneliness and resentment. I told myself I was still a good wife. I kept the house together, smiled for photos, volunteered at school events, pretended to sleep when he reached for me. Then Evan walked into my life. New at the office. Confident. Flirtatious. He looked at me like I wasn't fading, like I existed. The first flirty comment made me blush. The second one made me respond. Our messages started harmlessly. Compliments. Jokes. But they grew. Fast. Too fast. Emotional intimacy turned into physical moments. One, then another, until it was no longer an accident but a pattern. I justified everything. Nathan didn't care. We were distant. I deserved something exciting. I deserved attention. I didn't stop even when I knew I should. Even when Nathan started noticing the late nights and the locked phone. Even when he quietly asked, "Who's texting you?" or, "Are you okay?" Then came the night he asked to use my phone because his battery died. I froze. Just for a second. But he saw it. I handed it over anyway. He didn't confront me that night. Didn't say a thing. I thought maybe, just maybe, he didn't see anything. He did. He read it all. And he waited. Days later, on a quiet Sunday afternoon, he saw Evan's name pop up on my screen and made the most calculated, devastating move I've ever witnessed. He handed my phone to our daughter. "Read the messages to me," he told her lightly. "Let's see what mommy's been laughing about." She thought it was a game. By the time I ran into the room, the damage was done. "Nathan," I gasped. "Give me the phone." He took it from Emma, gave it to me without looking at me, kissed her forehead and sent her to her room. Then he asked calmly, "How long?" I couldn't breathe. "Nathan." "How long, Madison?" My eyes dropped. "Almost 6 months." He didn't move. Didn't blink. "With Evan?" "Yes." Another pause. Frozen, suffocating silence. "Do you love him?" "No." I don't even know why but I did know. I was just too ashamed to say it. He nodded once like he expected the lie. Then he spoke with the coldest clarity I've ever heard. "You have 1 week to tell Emma the truth. Or I will." My legs nearly gave out. "She's 9, Nathan. She won't understand." "She understands betrayal better than you think," he replied. "She just watched you panic over another man's messages. Don't insult her intelligence." That week was torture. I barely slept. I barely functioned. I searched for some gentle way to explain things without ripping her world apart. But Nathan meant every word. A week later he sat her down himself. He didn't say affair. He didn't weaponize the moment. He simply told her that mommy made a mistake that hurt our family, and we were going to spend some time apart. But the way she looked at me, that was enough. Nathan moved in with his brother. Custody became a tight, mechanical schedule. He checked every detail twice, like he didn't trust me with even the basics. The divorce papers came a month later. But the worst part wasn't losing Nathan. It was losing the way Emma saw me. She started drawing pictures of our family with one person missing, me. Or with me standing on the opposite side of a wall. One day she left a drawing on my pillow, a crying stick figure with a broken heart and the word "Y" scribbled above it. I cried until morning. I apologized to Nathan, not to win him back, but because the guilt was suffocating. He listened. Quietly. But he wasn't the same man anymore. Then came the night during a custody exchange when Emma wrapped her arms around his leg and whispered, "I don't want to go with Mommy." That was the moment my heart shattered completely. Nathan didn't say anything cruel. He didn't twist the pain. He simply knelt beside her and said gently, "We have to be fair. Mommy loves you too." Emma went with me, but she didn't speak the entire drive home. Now, almost a year later, I'm still trying to rebuild something that might never fully heal. Nathan and I are divorced. Emma stays with me during the week and with him on weekends. She's improving, slowly. But sometimes she tenses when a phone buzzes. Sometimes she flinches at a raised voice. Sometimes she looks at me like she still has questions she's too afraid to ask. As for Evan, he disappeared the moment Nathan confronted him. Blocked me. Vanished. Like he had never existed at all. And maybe that's fitting. Because the only real thing that affair ever gave me was the destruction left behind.